Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. If you're enjoying the daily crypto content, make sure you support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. Also, comment down below what coin you'd like to see next, and let's get into the video of today. So, first off, here, Justin Sun stands by Tron's decision to overturn community governance rule. Really, one of the most controversial pieces of today. I saw a lot of backlash to Justin Sun for this, and I definitely think it's an important topic to cover. Tron founder Justin Sun stood behind his decision to install a hard fork on the Steem network against the will of the community. Huobi and Binance, both of which supported Tron's network takeover with an overwhelming amount of stake, denied claims of bribery and pulled their witness votes. Some Steem employees, including its lead blockchain developer and head of communications, resigned from their posts, while community developers continued to protest. So, this was a pretty big thing, right? Following yesterday's controversy around the hostile takeover, over the Steem network, its founder Justin Sun came in and defended his action to overturn the community's governance decision. So basically, right now they're saying that Justin Sun and the guys at Binance and Huobi did something criminal. They're really saying they're like the worst criminals out there for taking over the whole network and using their power to change it all, even though the community doesn't want it. Really, it's basically what's going on. And I think I actually had another article somewhere in here. Right here, we have another one. Huobi Exchange response to Steem network takeover by Justin Sun. Cryptocurrency community has been rocked by an unprecedented hack as Justin Sun's Poloniex, Binance, and Huobi have been caught up in a hostile takeover saga of Steem blockchain. While the crypto community is enraged on the possible events that have transpired on Monday, Huobi and Justin Sun have come forward to straighten out the possible takeover, stating the blockchain was on the verge of a hack. Oh my days, guys! This is a pretty big situation. A lot of angry votes, a lot of angry people, a lot of controversy, a lot of backlash, and really did not go too well. But to quickly explain, Steem blockchain depends on a delegated proof of stake consensus system whereby users stake tokens with witnesses for governance protocol. Many projects that have the same thing. The higher stake of tokens the witness holds, the higher amount of control they hold over the decisions made in the blockchain. So basically, the more money you have, the more control you got, right? That's the easier way to think about it. Once Justin Sun bought off Steemit, the community were afraid given the huge stash of tokens he knew now held, and in a bid to limit his power, the community decided to hold a soft fork. Here is what the issue started or where the issue started. According to the top crypto influencers and other enthusiasts, Binance, Huobi, and Poloniex used over 84 million Steem tokens to vote for an account presumably linked to Justin Sun, Dev365, giving him power over the whole blockchain. Luke Stokes came out to say, your stake in Steem on centralized exchanges was just used to take over the Steem blockchain. And now both Justin Sun and Huobi have come forward to defend that it was about to be hacked and it was for the safety of the blockchain and that they responded really quickly and prevented a hack. According to reports from Justin's Twitter, hackers froze over 65 million Steem tokens on February 22nd, leading to a difficult choice by the developers. He further said, we double confirmed with lawyers and were told that this was definitely a criminal activity from the hackers who froze over $10 million worth of Steem and threatened to destroy the assets. The risk of nullifying the Steem network puts every Steem holder's interest in danger, and Huobi further said, we take all allegations seriously, so we worked with both teams to better understand the situation and carefully assess the risk at hand. Based on the information provided to us, and out of an abundance of caution, we've decided that helping Steemit and Tron was in its best interest of our users and the network at large. CZ said, Steem, read my tweets and comments about our position and thoughts on the issue. We will likely remove the vote based on your feedback. The op requires people in several different geographic locations to coordinate, may take a little time. Justin said, we will commit to withdrawing the votes ASAP once we're sure malicious hackers can't sabotage Steem anymore, and will give the voting rights back to the community. All exchanges votes will be withdrawn soon. So again, basically, the more money is put on a person, the more power you have. It's you just gotta check it out once you understand really simply. But it's pretty heavy, guys. Pretty big situation, and I thought it was really worth a little bit of your attention. Now, I just showed you guys in my previous video this article, but I didn't give it enough attention, I found. It says, does Ripple have what it takes to be the Amazon of crypto? Ripple is continuing to expand across the globe. What's propelling the company forward and what's holding it back? So this is all because of one interview that Brett Garlinghouse had with Julia Chatterley on CNN, wherein he said that Ripple was most likely going to be like the Amazon, right? He said, I hope that in 5 years, we're not just Amazon books, we're Amazon, which would mean that, of course, they would have to explore different verticals instead of just the remittance market at this point. And now, when I read through this, I actually noticed that another big part of this could actually be that the company is seeking to grow through an IPO. At least that's actually a really big possibility of where they want to get some traction coming along. To quote, we're not going to be the first and we're not going to be the last, but I expect us to be on the leading side, he added. It's a natural evolution of our company. I think it's pretty interesting to take a look at all of this. And another topic here is integrating and connecting with banks is an important part of Ripple's growth strategy around the world. Well, yeah, we all know that as well. And combining all these things together, just what we said right here, there's a really good reason and really I guess good explanation for why they want to go after becoming an Amazon type of thing. I also don't think JPM coin has any chance of making it really far because of course you need mutual trust. And for example, another bank doesn't really like to use JPM coin, right? It's only for intra-bank or within one bank's own use. JP Morgan coin could really work quite well for JP Morgan, but for Bank of America, if those two things are completely separate, then JP Morgan coin is not interesting. They would just go for BOA coin, right? Or maybe an independent party like XRP. The same reason why crypto purists despise Ripple as a project is the same reason central banks love it. Again, because right now they're actually having a proposition of deletable accounts, which is, again, really good for banks, I would say. They would like that type of stuff. And also, that Ripple has a lot of quote unquote control. A lot of is relative, guys. And in the sense of control, I'm trying to say what happens through XRP, or with XRP. Ripple has a lot to say right there, right? And I'm not trying to imply that it's centralized because still the amount of votes that Ripple has is less, or the amount that Ripple can control is less, of course, than China would have for Bitcoin or that one single entity has for Bitcoin. So from that perspective, it's really centralized. But I'm trying to point the way Ripple can manipulate XRP to be used, right? Because Ripple has a lot of the central authority for XRP usage, in the sense of most usage for XRP will come from Ripple. I'm quite sure of that, and a lot of the features that Ripple, or I guess that XRP has, are what's making it so popular for the banks. People call it banker coin all the time, right? And that's why banks like it. It's pretty interesting. They've been criticized a ton, but in the end, I still think that really what they're doing is quite amazing. Forming relationships with regulators has been an important part of Ripple's growth strategy. I think there's also a big snowball effect in place, right? Of just getting one partner on, talk to a couple regulators who will, again, maybe introduce you to a couple new regulators who will maybe, introduce you to a new country with their own regulators and introduce you to a new party and so forward and so forward. But a quote from the interview was, once regulators understand you're not circumventing regulatory frameworks, they get very comfortable very quickly. Again, I get that all. But again, in my mind, it's so simple how Ripple's all doing this. They're manipulating this world in such a good way. Guys, they're just I don't know, like digging the path for themselves through all the dirt, and they're making it so easy for themselves to just rise to the top with time. All it takes is time. Still, that's what it's looking like. And again, these videos are not being promoted by Ripple in any way. This is my own personal opinion. If you guys don't like it, better leave. If you enjoy it, make sure you press the like button. Criticism of over centralization. Again, I don't buy that at all. That's just I don't really see where people get that from. Just check out how much of a stake Ripple has. The only part about over centralization is in how many coins they hold. But again, that's a whole different story that we've talked to about a lot. And then expanding into unbanked markets. A lot of cryptos are doing this, but Ripple's also taken a very big leap into it. Also now incentivizing companies like, for example, MoneyGram to use XRP, which to me is a very good thing. Some people saw it as bad, but I disagree. All right. This article wanted to quickly dive back into a bit as well. Bitcoin price prediction for 2020. I just wanted to say that here is a lot of different price predictions in this small little section right here. And the most interesting one was here from, at least that they said, from ZZ. And he said a bullish Bitcoin market in 2020. He's expecting that. He believes in looking at long term and expects the crypto to experience high volatility over a short period of time. Then Crypto Nation Pro Review, Adam Black, the CEO of Blockstream, is rather optimistic and believes 20,000 in 2020 and possibly 100,000 in the future or come the end of the year. Interesting. Interesting. And then Mark P. Berniger is a fintech investor at Crypto Finance and believes Bitcoin can reach a minimum of 22,000 and a maximum of 55,000 come the end of 2022. And Benedict Bunz, the co-founder of Fedora, believes Bitcoin will end the year anywhere between $1 and $100,000. That's pretty stupid. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is going to be somewhere between $0 and $10 million. Trust me on that one, because I know I'm right. Most likely. Peter Schiff believes that the cryptocurrency may fall to as little as $1,000 by the end of 2020. All different opinions, but pretty cool to see it all. All right, then we have Binance, Coinbase among top crypto exchanges targeted by new Trojan virus. Talked about this before, but I just want to quickly talk about it again because of the severity I see, right? And the biggest tip I can give everybody is buy yourself a hardware wallet. Keep your money on where you have control over it. Not saying keep all your money there if you don't want to, but keep most of it. All the money you're not trading with, get it off exchanges, right? I have a couple of, a couple of dollars, so to say, on Binance, for example, or maybe some other exchange. It's just an example here, maybe BitMEX. Reason for it? Well, because I think it's quite nice to be able to trade whenever I want to. If I want to place a quick bid or I want to do something really quickly, there's a little bit of money in there. But if I want to make some bigger trades, I'm just going to deposit. Or if I want, I'm done with trading, I just withdraw it. It's just a simpler way of doing things in a very, I guess, strange, no, very dangerous environment. That's it. Cybersecurity firm Threat Fabric has identified a new Trojan virus called Cerberus that is targeting the top cryptocurrency exchanges. Already told you guys about that. The virus is capable of stealing 2FA codes and screen lock PIN passwords, so better watch the frick out, guys, and get your stuff sorted out. Get your money on a hot wallet. A link is in the description below. Warren Buffett loses $28 billion in 1 week. Should have kept his Bitcoin. A savage week for all, but worse for Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett and his top 10 investments, and a climate of fear is investors' best friend. So it starts off the article here with a question by Peter Schiff. Which thing will hit $3,000 first, Bitcoin or gold? And most people talked and said gold will hit it. But gold right now is at $1,600. Bitcoin right now, what he posted is at $9,700. But still, it's looking quite interesting to me that he's talking about that. A. Pompliano said, cut interest rates and print money. These are the tools of central banks. We know that. And they're going to abuse them at the exact moment we head into the Bitcoin halving. Even Hollywood couldn't write the script. Interesting. Warren Buffett lost a lot of money in the last in his last wait, let's see here. When faced with the ever decreasing purchasing power of the US dollar and a $28.5 billion loss from his top 10 investments, Buffett remains firm on his claim that cryptocurrencies have no value. It's just really interesting that he still is thinking about all of that, right? It's pretty cool. But yeah, however, as of the end of trading on Friday, February 28th, the staggering losses to Berkshire Hathaway investment portfolio had retraced it to a value of 212 billion. And when I read that, I just kind of fell off my chair because that is really quite interesting. And again, a climate of fear is investors' best friend. The best chance to deploy capital is when things are going down, or like most investors and most people will tell you, the best places to buy is at the bottom, right? When there's a big recession going on, once we hit rock bottom, it's best to buy. Or once we're going down, it's good to buy because, hey, you might not be able to buy the bottom, but you might be able to buy close to the bottom. Since that said, Bitcoin was created after the last financial crisis. It has risen 9,000,000% in the last 10 years when fiat and stocks were strong. How do you think we'll do in the next financial crisis when fiat and stocks might not be doing so good again? And we might go another 9,000,000% or so. Could be really, really cool. Rapper dismisses of securities fraud charges for Flick ICO. IT, just another ICO issue. Thought you guys might like it. I personally do not care at all about that type of stuff. Cryptocurrencies could dry up bank lending. Bank of England deputy governor warns. What? Sir John Cunliffe, Bank of England deputy governor, has warned that cryptocurrencies could dry up the supply of credit through the banking system, which could have profound economic consequences. According to Reuters, Sir John Cunliffe warned during a speech at the London School of Economics that a new wave of technological developments enabling users to transact cryptos could become mainstream. Well, that could be really cool. Specifically referring to stablecoins such as Facebook's Libra, Cunliffe added it's possible these could see people move money from their bank accounts to wallets provided by other firms. The Bank of England deputy governor added, in such a world, and depending how and whether stablecoins were backed with other financial assets, the supply of credit to the real economy through the banking system could become weaker or indeed disappear. That would be a change with profound economic consequences. Well, Ripple and XRP are not about that life. I guess they're really trying to support the whole banking system still with their way of doing things. So, again, maybe that's another reason for them to not go for things like Libra, but stay or stick with things like XRP. This indicator suggests Bitcoin at the beginning of a bull market. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys believe that right now is still the beginning of a bull market? Stocks are not doing good. Everything's going down. Bitcoin seems to be correlated with all of them, but still, some are saying that, yeah, Bitcoin's still going to be doing amazing. What do you guys think? Bitcoin unrealized profit is at a healthy level. That is similar to the beginning of the past bull markets. Despite Bitcoin losing 60% of its value last week, whales and long-term Bitcoin holders are not selling BTC. Glassnode posted, Bitcoin unrealized profit is still at a healthy level, showing no signs that the market has topped. Currently, it's at levels similar to the beginnings of the past bull markets, and thus we might be seeing something crazy happen soon once more. There's tons of things that will match most likely. Again, but I don't buy that type of stuff. It could be close, could be exactly the same thing. Doesn't matter that it's gonna happen. But it's cool to know about it though. Bullish for Bitcoin. US Federal Reserve makes emergency rate cut. We just talked about that. Big cut. Big thing. And it got a pretty heavy effect on the or on the stock markets. And again, that also got a pretty big effect on crypto. Stocks go up when the Fed cut rates because more money gets printed via debt whenever they do. This new money finds its way into stores of value like stocks and real estate. Markets are just front running. Bitcoin is now going up as well, solidifying its ASOV status. Well, interesting. Tezos holds on to $2.5 support or higher pricing coming. You guys asked me to talk about Tezos. You guys asked me to talk about Chainlink. I try to incorporate, some of these coins every so often, just trying to get them in there. But you guys need to let me know again what coins you need to talk about. And if you enjoy crypto, make sure you press the like button. But yeah, I can't read it too much, but I just noticed here that they were holding 250 support, and I want to know from you guys if I should talk about Tezos because then I'll look for some articles, look for some news, and get you guys stuff. And the last article here was again the one we just read, but I think I got it in here twice. Then bullish for Bitcoin. Again, U.S. Federal Reserve makes emergency rate cut, but still, the crypto market is a little bit down, which could showcase a inverse correlation. Could be. I personally think the correlation is still quite there, because it just looks like they're following it quite nicely. But again, at some point it might differ. Maybe in the end it's not going to be that way at all. Maybe if Bitcoin starts a big bull run and stocks decline, Bitcoin will run harder. Maybe exactly the opposite will happen. Maybe Bitcoin goes down and stocks go up. Who knows? Who knows what's going to cause what? Who knows what's going to happen? Nobody does. That's what makes crypto so interesting. That's what makes it so juicy. I like the volatility. It makes a lot of opportunities for good trading. But also, guys, make sure you follow me on Twitter, TheDustyBC. If you agree with the whole story here, make sure you press the like button. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody, and have a very, very nice day. And also, don't forget to check back tomorrow and subscribe and like and comment down below what coin you'd like me to talk about next.